Hello everyone, still not a licensed physician, still never giving medical advice, and this video is about the Elusive Mildronate, a Soviet Union medication developed in the Latvian Soviet Republic of the Soviet Union, I think like 1980, and I haven't looked online lately. Like 10 years ago, it was not available online. That's when I learned about it, and I just refreshed my memory today. I keep looking over there because that's where my phone was, but now it's here. Cannot search things. I could get my computer, but I'm not going to do that. Basically, it is a fatty acid analog, which does not work. So, it's ironic actually, because a new popular thing is to take a bunch of carnitine, even to go as far as injecting carnitine, something I'm actually going to do. Haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. And the idea for that is you maximize the pathway that brings fatty acids into the mitochondria to get used for fuel. But with this Mildronate, you are blocking that entire pathway. So that does concern me a little bit in terms of fat gain and energy. So what's the reason behind this medication? The intent was for cardioprotection, because lipid oxidation is not very effective. Not very, what's the word for it? Efficient. And it does create some harmful products. So the idea was, let's block the use of them in the heart and push it towards glucose. One big reason that scares me, now probably you're gonna have enough glucose at all times, but what if you decide to go keto on this medication? Well, you do have the ability to produce glucose in the body, but that it still scares me to think, like, imagine if you don't eat any sugar, you take this medication, and say you go try to run a few miles. What's going to happen if your heart can't use its usual fuel, and the fuel you're trying to push it to use is not available? Might not be so good. So certainly a good idea to consume enough carbohydrates and sugars while on this medication. Now what's interesting is, like I mentioned about the L-carnitine, and especially the injectable L-carnitine, I've heard people on YouTube saying how it gives them more energy and stuff. So you would think that if you block that whole pathway that you are boosting with the L-carnitine, that you'd have less energy. However, a friend of mine here took this Mildronate and said that it was amazing, that he had way more energy than usual, kind of like taking a lot of caffeine or some other stimulant, but it wasn't a stimulant, and he had no stimulant side effects, no lack of sleep, no nothing. So I'm going to try it out. I'm going to make sure I eat enough sugar. I'm not going to go keto on it. And I'll report back with my findings. It's exciting to have access to this rare medication. I feel pretty special because I bet there's a lot of other big bodybuilders out there who wish they could try this one, but they're not in Belarus. So too bad for them. It's probably available in Russia too. I don't know about Latvia. It's part of the European Union now, and they got all their own weird drug laws, and maybe they don't respect the Soviet Union and they don't allow the medications. I don't know. But in Russia, most of the Soviet Union medications are still in circulation and use. In Belarus, it's not always the case. I don't know if it's just because they decided not to produce them anymore, like for no good reason. But, for example, Nupet, It is not available in Belarus. It's available in Russia, and as far as I know, and don't quote me on this, it's not actually what would you call it, like an official medicate, like a registered medication in this country. I don't know why. I don't know which Soviet republic it was developed in. I think it was in St. Petersburg, so in the Russian Soviet Republic. I don't know why Belarus didn't just transfer over all of the Soviet Union medications to Belarus, like they did with most other things about the country. But for whatever reason, some of the medications from the Soviet Union are not available in Belarus. Luckily, Mildronate is. Yeah, who knows? Never mind, I'm not going to say my idea. Not a good idea. So yeah, it is a similar molecule to a fatty acid, except it's not. So it goes in, and all the proteins and enzymes are proteins too, just so you know. So I don't really need to say proteins and enzymes. I could just say all the proteins that the fatty acid goes through before it gets to the mitochondria. This molecule, not all of them, but it goes into the pathway, and it basically blocks them. I can't remember the one it's most specific for, but there were others. The bottom line is, it has the ability to block like a lot of the steps in the pathway. Probably why it doesn't block some, not the reason why it doesn't block all of the ones it doesn't block, but some of them. It's probably because it already blocks an earlier step and never makes it to the later step. But also different proteins have different reactivity and different reactions that they catalyze, and it's simply not going to inhibit some of them because the reaction doesn't do anything in the way it binds. But that's not that important. What's important for you is to know that it blocks the use of fatty acids for energy. And fatty acids are very inefficient, and they create products that have been shown to be cardiotoxic and to your circulatory system as a whole. It seems like they can promote atherosclerosis. And one cool thing that I'm actually interested in is conditioning my heart to be able to use glucose more than it already is. So I'm not that, I'll have to see. Maybe this is like a miracle drug and it's going to just give awesome performance enhancement. I'm not counting on that, but if it does, great. What I'm more interested in is using it on and off to condition my heart to use glucose in case for some reason it's not able to get the fatty acids. That way it doesn't go ischemic and get damaged. Hope you like this video. Check out my other videos. Please like, subscribe, and comment. 8.5 minutes, not 10. Apparently if it's over 10 minutes, you get more money someday. Not going to be over 10 minutes this time. Oh, well actually, check out Amazon and A Systematic Guide to Defeating Tendinitis. It's my book. I could go grab it and show you, but I don't feel like it right now. I guess I'll just show you. And sadly, some sticky residue got on this copy. This is a lifesaver. It's not medical advice, of course, because I'm not a licensed physician. It has a barcode even. So yeah, not medical advice. Can't recommend you listen to it. You should read it and just forget the whole thing. Don't change your life for the better. That would be horrible. You want to keep living in pain, not enjoying your life, being miserable, because you can just rewind and get the time back. Well, actually, you can't. So probably a good idea to get rid of that pain wherever you've got it. It's for tendinitis. Get rid of that ASAP and start enjoying your life again. Plus, if hypothetically, you didn't have to go to a bunch of doctors that aren't helping you. You'd save a lot of money. Plus, even think, like, besides the cost of the doctor's visit, you gotta pay for gas to get there. That takes time driving there, time at the doctor, time driving back, and you're still not better. Amazon can probably get it to you the fastest. And check out my Instagram, natural_true_fitness. Underscore is that flat line on the bottom.